Fucking hell. Houston, we may have a cable management problem. Cables? What cables? How's everybody doing? So yeah, cable management, Jesus Christ, that's the one thing I hate about this is I've had this unit in and out here like 4 times now. So I got it set up the other week, and my floors in here are terrible. The house is just like this. Well, none of the floors are square, or it's just a nightmare, this house. So I have to put like adjustable feet on everything to get everything level. First world problems here. You think it's easy. When you mess around with yourself as much as I do, it's not easy. I get particular over the years. So as you know, don't want any cable showing, or minimal cable showing. So drilling the backs of these is good. Cables can go around the back. I have to be honest though, behind there is a bit of a rat's maze. I don't sort of go to the nth degree, of plumbing them in. So all the cables are going up and down here like, Ninja Bear would. You all right, Stuart? But I really should do, because it gets a bit of a rat's maze, and everything's a bit of a mess behind there. But from the front, it looks super tidy, and that's me really. From the front, everything looks good, but inside it's a bit of a mess. I'm sure you're all the same. I'm not sure how long this one's going to be. I'm not sure how many cats are going to get involved. I've got to have this door open here because wow, this gets really hot. In fact, I've got a little fan that I've been hooking over the door here to blow air into it, especially when both of these systems are on at the same time. So if we get a bit of a bang and a fizz, it's because something went pop. But yeah, decided to have a game day today. It's my birthday this weekend, so just turned 55. Yeah, I'm really too old for this shit. I really am. But it keeps rolling, doesn't it? I'm just looking around to make sure I've got everything here, so I ain't got to get up again. So we're going to do this in a wanna. No editing, do it in a wanna. And actually, talking of editing, you almost didn't see this at all. In fact, there's a chance you might not see this until I get my laptop sorted out. So yeah, the laptop decided the little mouse pad thing decided to stop working. Went through all the settings went through YouTube to turn it back on again, and thinking it got disabled. So because Cat's walking over things. Like this morning, Beanie came in and walked over the Xbox controller and touched the button in the middle, the Xbox button on my arcade stick, and switched the system on. I was like, how come Xbox is fired up? Because you just press that button and it comes on. So yeah, it can be, it can get a little bit like that at times. And also, I've got all the cables in the world. I've got tote bins upstairs in the loft, full of cables, and I could not find the cable for this TV. I did have this one here, and I thought, well, I'll just have one LED, and I'll rotate that one. That could rotate, but it's a bit of a ball ache, with the wires at the back. Having it so I can rotate it and bring it back again, and the wires still be neat and tidy, it's difficult. So I thought, I'll just have a permanent Tarte setup, and this smaller screen is perfect for that. To be honest, it wasn't quite big enough for games over here. And I can have the Xbox or the PlayStation running through either of those as well, so the PS3 or the Xbox 360 running through either of those. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So I can just come in. That's the thing as well, you've got to be able to come in and switch on and just start, because when you've got this much time and your wife's waiting for you to want to do something for yourself and wants to basically just say, no, you need to be grouting the bathroom, or you need to be outside cutting the grass, or fetching plants or soil, or something that you really enjoy. I'm being a bit ridiculous. I don't mind that stuff, but yeah, when I do get time, I want to be able to come in. I don't want to have to spend half an hour plumbing something in. I want to be able to just switch it on, choose a game, and play. That's the key, and not have too many to play. That's also the key. So as we move forward here, you're going to see that although I am buying games, I'm not buying that many. You may, on some of the choices I've made, you might have said, well, why don't you just get, you know, an EverDrive? And I did go that route. And again, when you've got an EverDrive, you come in, you sit down, you spend half an hour trying to find a game to play within that EverDrive because they're all there, rather than just making a decision, I'll play that today and go into it and switching it on. I'll do that. I get distracted by all the choices. And before I know it, I've lost half an hour of my hour's gameplay. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to be, some of these titles are killer. They're absolute killer. No filler, but they are, some of them I've not paid the earth for. I will talk about that as well moving forward. So, right, I'm showing this in the morning, so we're on the water. We're going to do a double video today. We're going to do a double video. It's going to be videos, it's going to be gameplay. I'm going to enjoy myself. So this is even before breakfast, this. So yeah, we've got a space here that needs filling. So we have a new system. So I've had this one a couple of weeks. Came in the post a couple of weeks ago. So this was, now this system I didn't have at launch. I went Sony. So you can pretty much guess what this is. And I grew to love it through doing YouTube and basically experiencing the system for myself in later life. So this one's a Japanese variant. Again, no surprises, because there was a hell of a lot of games for this in the Japanese territories. One that never came out over here, and two that look so much better, in my opinion. So we've got a boxed copy. We've got a boxed console from Japan. Prices of these, have they gone up? Yeah, from, I mean, when I first started collecting these, I'd got a thing in my head, I've got a bee in my bonnet, about collecting all the variants. So at one point I had 3 of these systems. I've got this variant. This looks really nice box actually. Yeah, this is a really nice box. I've got a skeletal variant. I've got a white variant. So what I've done here is I've gone back to the beginning. I'm not going to be buying 3 systems again. And we have a Sega Saturn. I'm going to chuck that over there so Eddie can play with that, because he's about to come in here and cause havoc. Aren't you? Yeah, play in that box. He likes boxes. Not sure if Bean will appear on this video. She's a reluctant YouTuber, is Beanie. But Eddie just follows me everywhere and he wants to help. He's helping. This is a really good box. Yeah, this is a really good box. Oh, Talk of the Devil. There's Beanie. Yeah, that's really nice, that box. Yeah, not a lot of wear on this at all. If the insides are anything like the outsides, this is going to be really nice. Yeah, that's a really nice box. I don't display boxes now though, but yeah, that will get, look how tight that is. There's a little bit of sticker here and just one little dent there. I think that's the only dent I can see. There's a little bit here, look, on the corner, a little bit there, but Jesus Christ, for a system that old, you know, Japanese look after their stuff, don't they? Let's have a look at the system. So yeah, I didn't pay a fortune for this, but I didn't pay over the odds, should I say. I paid for what it is currently going for. Now this one came with 2 controls. It's got a looks like a RAM pack, but I don't know what was on that. It's blank, so I don't know. We'll have to plug that in and find out. It'd be a surprise. Yeah, obviously it's all in Japanese on the back, so it was just with the package basically. It just said this is what you get. So I don't know what that is, but it looks to me like a, like I say, one of the RAM packs. We have 2 standard controllers. Now I know on the screenshots one was very yellow and one looked very grey. So that's really nice. That's grey on grey. That's a really nice controller. Yeah, nice and clean. No gunk on it. No. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much DNA in it, so that's good. I have to give everything a wipe down as well with alcohol wipes when I get this stuff, because you don't know where it's been, mate. Honestly, it could have been up the arse end of something terrible. You don't know. And another one that's good. Yes, it's not too bad. It's going a bit green. So this grey colour tends to go green. So your SNES goes yellow, and the grey consoles. Well, that smells a bit smoky. It smells very lofty. Been in a loft that. We'll have to see what they're like. We'll have to see how they play. But yeah, 2 controllers, which is good. I've only ever had 1 controller at any one time. My favourite is the clear controller. I might actually get another one of them. Standard leads, although that will not be used. Yeah, it's all very good. Everything inside looks smashing. Let's take the inner card out. Let's try not to batter the box. It's in such a nice condition. Now, the reason I went for the grey one is that years ago, myself and Cybersnake7, Jay, did a bit of a test. Now, Jay came to me and said he'd got a problem. He'd got a white Saturn, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jay. Or he might have had a... No, it may have been a skeletal one that said "So Cool" on it. I had the Derby Stallion one, you know, the all clear one, and I'd love one of them back again, but they're a lot of money. I think what I'd do is I'd probably just reshell one. If I found a shell, yeah, this is a bit green. If I found a shell that was nice, tell you what though, it's bloody clean. Yeah, it's not super green. It's starting to go. We could retro bright it, but you know what? I'm not that fussed. A big tell is when you open the door and you can see the actual grey colour on the inside versus the colour on the outside. It is super clean though. It's really, really, really clean. But you can see how it's sort of going green. I had a PC Engine once that was like it. So yeah, let's say open it up, you can see the actual grey colour inside versus the green colour that it's gone on the outside. It's not a terrible thing. It's really not marked at all. It's a really nice clean system. Yeah, it really is a nice clean system, that. So I'm not too fussed about the colour. It's a thing. You know, they do go that. It's not terrible. Usually the bottom as well, they go sort of half and half. But, you know, that's going to look okay. I don't think I'm going to be too worried about that. Providing it works, that's the main thing. It needs to work. So, yeah, really pleased with that. It's a really nice system. Nice box, nice system. It's going to go in here. I've still to drill the holes for this, but that'll go above the Mega Drive in there and go to the TV via RGB SCART. So let me just put all this stuff back in the box. Yeah, really well packaged. Very pleased with that. Put that cableage back in. I'm not going to use that. Pretty bottom. Don't know what that is. It just said it was coming with it, so we'll plug that in. I suppose it's a bit too much to hope that that's actually a pseudo Saturn flashed onto that, and I can now play all my moody games, because I do still have quite a few gold discs, basically copies of games that. You know, are big hitters that I just can't afford. Looking at the games, the prices, the ones I've gone for here, not massive. I'm not dick swinging. I've played all the shooters. I've owned all the shooters, and it's a real expensive rabbit hole, the shooters. If I do go for some, it's going to be a couple, and that'll be it. I'm not going to go, as I say, into loads of shooters, because yeah, it just gets stupid, to be quite honest with you. And as I said, been there, done that. I've got them on gold disc anyway. I can get a pseudo Saturn set up for about 30 or 40 quid, you know, and I can play all them shooters anyway if I want to. There's more than enough shooters in the JTAG if I want to play some Bullet Hell or whatever. A vast majority of them as well, of the ones I like. My favourite, which is Batsugun, still around 100 quid, 120 quid, something like that. And you don't know, I might go for that, but then again, like I say, I've got it on a copy. I can play it on a copy, and it is also, I've got it on the PS4. So a lot of the shooters been released on Switch and on PS4. So you know, there's no need to be paying ridiculous money to play the same games. What I'm doing here this time is I'm collecting to play. I'm not collecting to collect, if you know what I mean. So with the system, I've got a couple of bits here that's going to help. So first of all, standard now is the RGC should I say, RGB SCART cables from Retro Games Gaming Cables.co.uk. So yeah, we've got a Pucker SCART cable there. They're a little bit more expensive than you can get on eBay, but their quality is second to none in my opinion. You'll not get a better signal for SCART or RGB SCART from anybody else but these guys. For 20 quid, I think I can get one for a fiver. I can get one for a tenner, you know, off eBay. But it's not going to be as good as this. This solid. So we've got SCART cable. Now, if I want to plug that into one of these moderns, I have gone and got myself an OSS-C again, and I've had that quite a while. They're very handy. You know, as a solution for putting your old systems onto modern screens. And if I do want to put the Saturn through the vertical, that's where that's going to come in, because it'll look shit through it otherwise. Although that has got a SCART connection to it, that Blaupunkt TV, which is very, very rare for a modern TV these days. They just don't have them. So yeah, that's a bonus, but it is going to look gash. I might try it and just see what it looks like. But going through the OSS-C, you can set your scan lines, you can do all sorts of jiggery poker, and it's going to look like a CRT. Ideally, obviously, we're going to be running through the old CRT here. I'm sorry about the flicker. I know I had some advice on the last video, and I'll go back about the games in a minute. So I went off on a tangent then. I'll be back in a minute, Jay. I was talking about Jay then for a sec. I'll come back to you. But I can't rotate that. There's no way I can put that on its side. No, it's not happening. So to have a screen that I can sit vertical and it hardly weigh anything, it's got to be an LED, you know, and or should I say LCD? LCD, LED? No, they're LEDs these days, aren't they? I'm old. 55. So yeah. Anyway. Long story short, we've got an OSS-C, should I want to do that. And the last one I had broke. It was who makes it now? This is a Bitfunks one, so this is different, but it was, I've had two actually. I had two. I think did I sell Tootie one? I think I sold Tootie my OSS-C, and then I bought one and it actually broke down. I bought one through Amazon. Is it Cody or KD or begins with a K? You'll know it anyway. But I saw this one from China. I've not actually opened this yet. I've never plugged it in, so I don't know if it even works or not. But this comes with a case on it already. The other ones just had like a thin piece of laminate on the top and the bottom. So this has a case on it already, and it's with the remote and everything. So, you know, I think it was 75 quid this from Japan delivered or China. I don't know if it were AliExpress or something. Might have been. I know it was a lot cheaper than what I'd paid for them in the past. I think I paid like 120 quid for them in the past, especially when they first came out. So, what were we saying about the system? Yeah, so the Grey system plays all the games. Now you might think, well, all the systems play all the games, don't they? No. So Jay brought to my attention that he'd bought a copy of Outrun for the Saturn. The Sega Ages Outrun, and it wouldn't play on his system. So he kind of brought it. I think we were on his way to Blackpool or something one year, so he brought it here and we tested it. We tested it in my grey system and it worked. We tested it in my white system and it didn't work, and we tested it in my Derby Stallion and it didn't work. So it's only the grey systems, the original systems, that play that game, and no one knows why. Still to this day, no one's come up with the answer to that. If you know now, if it's come you know, to light, let us know, because yeah, a bit of a mystery that why it wouldn't play. But because you would think all inside all the Saturns are all the same, wouldn't you? But evidently not. So yeah, finally got back to the end of that story, Jay. Oh dear me, fucking mental. Just looking around, I've got some artwork to put up, so I'm gonna have some artwork up here. Been loving Lollipop Chainsaw, by the way. That is literally brain out, sit there and button mash and hack and slash. It's fucking great good fun, and it's a bit dodgy in places. Craig, you'd like that one, mate. Let's just say hot dog baps are on display at certain parts of that game. That's all I'm going to say, and you'll work out for yourself what I mean by that. So yeah, what else has been going on? So yeah, I've got my my marquees over there, and I think I might put them up here. But I like a nice, as I said before, I like a nice, clean, tidy setup these days. First thing I bought for this, or the very next thing I bought, and actually this ended up being quite a steal. It ended up being quite a bargain. Now the pictures of it, it looked shocking. It looked in shocking condition. And it wasn't boxed or anything. I wasn't too bothered about a box for it, but I definitely wanted one back because you've got to have one of these, and it is the Virtua Stick. So not a lot of wear and tear on it. It was absolutely filthy. All the sides were covered in like gunge, fingerprints. I don't know what they'd been holding before they grabbed hold of this. The ball here had got loads of gunk on it. I managed to get most of that off, and it's actually come up really nice. It's pretty white, because these go yellow as well. It's pretty white. It feels nice. Obviously not played it yet, because I've not had the system plugged in. But yeah, we've got ourselves a Virtua Stick. What did I pay? I want to say 60 quid, which is a bargain. You can pay upwards of 100 quid for a box one, but most of the boxes are battered these days. And as I say, I'm not really worried about displaying boxes at the minute. But yeah, in my opinion, one of the best sticks. I did have a Hori stick last time, and that was a good close second, to be honest. But you know, this just looks right. It reminds me of the Astro City cabs, especially the shape of the front of it and everything. They tend to warp a little bit on here. These buttons, these little studs tend to go rusty. There's none of that. Again, they can go discoloured. It's still white. You can see a little bit of liftage here on the cover on the front. So they tend to lift up. It's like a metal. That's like a metal sheet, and this is just like a stencil sort of put on top of it. I do believe you can get replacement ones, but you would have to take the whole thing apart. I'm sure that at one point I put 30mm Shimizu buttons in one of these. I'm sure I did. Or Sanwas. Yeah, Sanwas. And I had to drill these out a bit bigger, or what I did was I changed all the colours. I think I might have had them all different. I'm always pissing about, aren't I? So I did something with it, but I'll leave this one standard. It's just one little mark there, which I can touch in with a Sharpie, a marker pen. It's just one little bit where the colours come off the thing. But apart from that, bloody good condition, and for 60 quid, that is a genuine bargain. You can't really get them for that. So I was really pleased with that. I managed to snatch that one up, and it was a UK seller as well. So happy with that. This just came this morning, so we've got 5 games to begin with, and most of these are a combination of games that I had back in the day, not back in the day, but like, you know, through my collecting. They're games that I had through my collecting that I really liked, and certain games are like a series of games, but I've chosen the one that's my favourite. So we're going very specific. In fact, the first one we'll show will be is it that one? Where is it? I'm pretty certain. That's one of the first ones. Where is it? It's got to be here. Said it was delivered. It could even be this one. I don't know. Anyway, we'll open this one first, and yeah, and see what it is. I think they're all from Japan. These. I don't think I've got any. Yeah, I don't think I've got any of these from a UK seller. So, the first game is, for me, the system seller, and it's... Back in the day, I went for Sony, and I went for Ridge Racer. That was my go-to. Now, my mate had a Saturn and went for this because of that. And it's Sega Rally. Now, it's for me, no other game handles like Sega Rally. No other driving game. I don't know what it is. It just talks to you. The feel of the game is, it's just, you can just feel, I've always said this, you can feel the gravel on the floor through the controller. You know, you get a feeling of how the car's going to handle and how it's going to drift. And I just don't know any other driving game that nailed it like that. This one's fully complete with Cardage. We've got Cardage, we've got Spine-Cardage, and although that's not a absolute must for me, if they've got them with it and they're not so expensive, I will try and get all the games with Spine Card. So basically I wanted the best condition copy I could get, although I'm just noticing there is a crack on the front of this. Now, I don't know if that happened in transit or not. And I did pay a little bit extra for this because it's got Spine Card. But, you know, you've got to have them complete if you can. And for an iconic game like that, and one that I do remember playing in the arcades, and I do remember playing on my mate's Saturn, and I have had it in here before as well. I thought I might as well spend a little bit extra. I mean, I can swap the front of that out. It may be a CD thickness. I know with the Saturn games, the cases are slightly thicker than just a normal CD. Definitely on some of them. I'm not sure that's the case with this one, but I may be able to just swap that out for a CD front. Then again, I might not. I might have to have a another Saturn game. Find something super cheap and obscure that's got a nice case on it. But anyway, yeah, Sega Rally. So many memories with Sega Rally. As I say, my mate had it on his Saturn. So he had this and he had Virtua Cop. And for me, those were the two arcade games that we loved playing in the arcades and that you finally had at home, and that was the reason to buy a Saturn. After that, he didn't really, I don't think he kept it very long. I think he played Sega Rally and he played Virtua Cop a lot, and then that was it. I'm not sure he had anything else, to be honest. And he punted it on and he never went back to it. I think he went off into Neo Geo at that point or something anyway. Well, a little bit like me back in the day, but he had cash. He got a really good job. But this one I've got memories of the 4-wheel link up in the arcades. I remember we went on a stag night at weekend, and we spent most of that in the pub, obviously. But when we weren't in the pub, we were in one of the arcades because they'd got a 4-wheel link up, and we were playing Sega Rally. That's all we did all weekend, is drink and play Sega Rally. I mean, who could tell me a better way to spend a weekend than having a booze up with your mates and playing Sega Rally with your mates? Oh dear. Played this a lot at Arcade Club as well. I can remember myself and Matt Soul Funk Retro, remember him? When we went to the first incarnation of Arcade Club with Craig, took us down there. And we had a bit of a battle on this. And I recorded it, but it's been deleted, like everything else was. Ridiculous, I know. So lots of memories of Sega Rally. A system seller game, one that I'd got to get back first. So yeah, Sega Rally, I'm going to enjoy playing that later. Now, I do have a bit of an issue. Obviously, this is a Japanese system, and going through all my stuff, the last time I was collecting, I swapped out power supply units for UK ones. So the Saturn had a UK power supply in it. In fact, it had one of these, which is like a modern version. A Dreamcast I had, I did the same thing with that, but I figured I'd still got the adapters and stuff, you know, the step downs. I ain't got any, so I must have got rid of them. I was in the loft yesterday for an hour, sweating my bollocks off up there, trying to find an adapter for the Saturn so I could plug it in and play it today, but I haven't got one. Now what I did buy was this, which is one of the modern power supplies. So basically, it comes with a couple of connectors, depending on which system you've got, the little power jack, and the board that goes in. So when you lift that one out of the Saturn, it's dead easy to do. It literally has 5 prongs, and you lift the power board off. You unplug one thing, and I think it's one screw. You lift the power board out, and it's massive. It's like about this long and about that far. There's got loads of diodes on it and lots of shit that can go wrong. Now, as soon as they started releasing, what's that that's about to fall out with this piece of plastic? As soon as they started releasing the SD card readers and stuff for these, you didn't need such power. You didn't need all that. And I'm hoping that this replaces the power unit and still allows me to use the CD. But it's a tiny little power board, and it takes a socketed connection. Now these are either 3 or 5 volt, depending on what your system is. And there's tons of these. as I say, available. You get them for the Dreamcast as well, and it basically replaces all that big bulky shit that you've got inside your system. Doesn't get as hot, you know, it runs cooler, all that stuff. It's a modern replacement for your PAL board. Beanie. We nearly had a bean then. So yeah, so that's what I bought. But it was super cheap. These are about 30 quid, I want to say, and this was 15 quid. But it hasn't got the instructions with it. I'm pretty certain I had a look on the listing earlier where I bought it from. Hello, Eddie. And I'm pretty certain there was a picture of the instructions with it, but I'm sure I can go online and work out what I need to do with that one. Hello, Eddie. What are you doing? This is what you're doing. Making a video for the people. Do you want to be on it? Come here. Yeah. It's Eddie getting fat about the minute. That way. Fatty puss. Fatty puss. You're going to get up behind me and start knocking things off like you did in the last video. So, rag. Hey? Can't be anywhere without him being involved. Thought you'd have got in that box by now anyway. They've been running around a fair bit this morning though, so they're probably knackered out. Bean's just got in there, so I'm assuming she's gone to bed. Right, next game. And another reason why we've got the arcade stick. As I say, I've not opened any of these yet, so I'm hoping they are as listed. This one's in a bit of a plastic bag. So, Street Fighter on the Saturn. Lots of different ways to play Street Fighter. You've got Street Fighter Collections. You've got the Zero series. You know, you can... There's all sorts of ways to play Street Fighter on the Saturn, and you'll have your own favourite version. But this one is mine. It's 02. Right, so yeah, I don't know what it is about this one. I really like this version. It was my favourite the last time I was collecting, and it has Cardage. We've got Spine Cardage. You're gonna get fed up with that. What's happening here? It's all upside down. It's all upside down and inside out. That won't do. That won't do. Nice pink disc on that one. You don't really see many pink discs, but yeah, we've got a pink disc. It's in really nice condition. The case is really nice. It's got cardage, and again, didn't cost the earth. They have gone up in price since the last time I was buying them these, but I wasn't going to go for 03 because the big box variant again. Again, it's a load of money. I did have it previously, and I didn't, you know, shoot me down. I didn't really play it that much. I played this a lot more, so I figured I'm just going to get the one that I play the most of, and it's Street Fighter 02. Didn't play Street Fighter on the Saturn on its release because I didn't own it. You know, I went PlayStation. So when this came out, I would probably have been playing Tekken. I would probably been playing Battle Toshinden. You know, stuff like that. I wasn't playing Street Fighter. I had lots of play with Street Fighter on the Super Nintendo. But these ones, when obviously a lot of these were Japanese only, and you know, we didn't get that. I don't know. You have to educate me actually on the PAL list. Do you get these on the PAL? I think they were Alpha, weren't they, on the PAL? So there's probably Alpha 2. Yeah, you probably can get this on the PAL. But as I say, I didn't have it. My mate didn't have it. Never played it. So it wasn't until I collected a Saturn and started buying Japanese games for it that I realised what a powerhouse for 2D games it is. It's just absolutely fantastic. And I do think it's aged better than PlayStation. Oh, just putting it out there. Original PlayStation, I think the Saturn has aged better. And I think it's because a lot of the games, it may just be the games that I'm playing, but I think a lot of the games have aged better because they didn't go for the 3D stuff. You know, I think the PlayStation games have aged because of the polygon thing. Back in the day, they looked really cool, whereas now did not age that well, in my opinion. So there are good games, there are poor games, there are games that look stunning on the PlayStation and are better versions as well than Saturn games. In the Hunt, for instance, has massive slowdown on the Saturn. No matter whether you're playing it, I think that was Japanese only. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. But it slows down to the point where it's almost unplayable. But In the Hunt on the PlayStation runs as smooth as anything. It runs really well. So, you know, Horses for Courses. I have to say, yeah, I don't think I played a disc version of Street Fighter until I had a Saturn that first time round. So anyway, Street Fighter Zero 2. For me, again, system seller of the game. Put that over there. As I say, we've only got 5 to begin with, and I've not actually got any more coming in the post yet. I'm going to need another peripheral because of this game that I've got here. Again, don't think my mate might have had this. He might have had this. I know he had, as I say, Virtual Cop. And I know we played a hell of a lot of this in the arcades because it was a fucking great game. It still is. And the sequel as well on the Dreamcast. We have House of the Dead. Again, lots of memories of playing this. Oh, the spine is... Oh, no, it's not broken. That's okay. It's just loose. We have Kadij. It has Minecart. I'm sorry. I've got to say it now each time, haven't I? Disc's really nice. Yeah, it was just a bit... Felt like it was broken, but the little nubbin's just a bit loose on the top. It's not actually broken. They can snap these so easily because they're so thin. And I have had some that have snapped in the post before. But yeah, the original House of the Dead, which means I need a gun, don't I? So I've been looking, those have shot up in price. I've been looking for a gun, and I don't know whether to get the standalone gun and then get the Virtua Cop game separately, or buy the Virtua Cop pack. I'd like it to have a nice box, because the way things are going with this Saturn, it's not a deal breaker. Whether I need it or not, I'm not sure. I don't think I do. But yeah, the ones I've seen from Japan boxed with the game, I'm looking for either a good deal on that or a cheap one that's just a standalone. But we'll see. But yeah, obviously I need a gun. We've got House of the Dead. Really enjoyed playing that. Again, in the arcades, it was quite something. It was quite something. There's nothing quite like connecting a bullet into the middle of a zombie's head and watching it explode. Really satisfying. I'm with Stuart on that one. Next one. I might need scissors again for this. Excuse me. Where have I put them? First world problems. Where are the scissors? Did you see where I put them? Can't find the fucking scissors. Oh, there. This guy's got a business card. James Callow. Have you bought any games from James? Again, this is eBay. Now, I do believe this was UK. Was it UK, this one? This may have been UK. All I do know is it was one of the cheapest shooters I could find. I thought I'll get a driver, we'll get a shooter, we'll get a fighter. So we've got a little bit of each genre to play. I don't know if this was complete either. But I know that this wasn't a lot of money initially, and then it went up in price and now seems to have come down a bit. I want to say, what did I pay? I want to say 26 quid, something like that. And it's Darius Gaiden. Again, this is one of the games that I had when I was collecting previously, and although most of the ones that I enjoy are vertical, this horizontal shooter, really enjoyed it. Was it complete? No. Oh, boo! No Kadij. Now, what we might do, because should we do it? Back in the day, if you buy a game and it ain't got a card, if it came from Japan, a lot of the Japanese collectors take the spine card out and they hide it underneath the disc. Now, I'm not making this up. If it's there, it's a miracle. What we'll do is we'll take this front bit off. In fact, I ought to check the manual as well, because sometimes they'll like squirrel them away inside the manual. But I don't think it was listed with card. So, hey, it's there! It's there! Boom! It was inside! Kadij! Kadij! Fucking yes! Now I'll have to check that listing again. I'll have to check that listing and see if I'm so pleased with that. Honestly, it's not a setup. It's not. You'll be going, yeah, you fucking did that for content creation. No, I didn't. That's been in there since forever, look. That's been in there since forever. It's brand new. Yes! 100% so far. 100% Kadij in the house. It's a little thing, but like I say, if I'm not collecting that many of them, you know, I ought to make the effort to get them complete. So we shall reunite that. I like to put them here as well. I know they can get a little bit marred up, but if you're careful, you can slide them in there. Yes! Honestly, I'm going to have to look at that listing. I'll report back to you in a later video. I'll have to look at that listing and see if it was listed with card or not. Because I didn't pay a lot for that. I'm sure it was about 26 quid. So, yeah, happy with that. Darius Gaiden. Getting a bit long in tooth now, this video. So, I'm aware that and Jesus, thanks for the views on that last video. I don't know what's going on. What is it? Algorithmically, I don't think I'm doing anything other than what I used to do. I'm titling the videos pretty much like I used to. I've not got no special, like, you know, thumbnails or out like that. I'm not sort of hyping it up. This is just what it is. You know, it's as real as it can be. Oh, I was watching a guy last. I don't want to call him out or anything, but I was watching it because I'm sort of looking through now and finding channels. And just be yourself, man. Just, you know, be yourself. There's no need to talk with, hey, and here we are, and I've got a new gear and do all this fucking business. There's no need for any of that. Just be yourself. You know, like Carl used to say, thanks for being yourself. Don't try and be somebody else. Don't try and be like the others. Don't try and be a careerist tuber. You know, I just turned off straight away. As soon as he started talking, I thought, oh, that looks all right. He'd not got many views. Put it on. Thought it might be someone else sub to. And I just couldn't watch him. It was just cringy. Don't do it. Please. Be yourself. Be real. Now, I know you might say, it's all right for you, Darren. You're you. It's not all right being me. I promise you. I can't remember what this one is. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, like I say, don't want to get into, you know, it's been said before about fake tubers, and it's been said before about, you know, careerists and all that sort of stuff. And if that's what you want to do, if you think you can make a killing on YouTube by being a professional one or whatever, then crack on. But, you know, vast majority of us, you're never going to get there. Even the biggest tubers in the UK aren't being paid. They're not being paid enough to quit the jobs. They're not. You need hundreds of thousands of subs, and I don't think there's one YouTuber in UK that's got hundreds of thousands of subs. You know, I mean like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subs. The bigger channels that I know anyway in the UK, they're all, you know, they're never going to get to that level. They've been hacking at it now for years and years and years and years and years, and they're still not there. So it's time to, you know, understand that, yeah, you've had some success, loads more than I ever will, and this is not sour grapes by any stretch of imagination. I'm just me, I always have been. I'm not silly. I'm just here to waffle at you. I'm not really here for anything else. You know, I've got a real job. Oh, hello Eddie, back again. What is this? Ah, right, I know this, and it's interesting because I watched that last night. What are you doing, Edwardle? Hey, what are you doing? Being a pest. So yeah, sorry, side rant. I'll store up now, but you know my feelings on it, and just be yourself, man. That's all you've got to be. Just be yourself. You know. So yeah, I watched the third instalment of this, which is much panned over the years, but I really like the third film in this series. I like how different it is. Second one will always hold a special place in my heart, and the first one is absolutely timeless. But the third one, I really like it. I remember I took my mother-in-law to see it, the pictures, because Silas won't go. So I needed someone to go with me, because I didn't want to be nobby no mates in the cinema. And, oh, he's going to jump up now, and this stuff's going to go flying. Now, Eddie, I'm going to put them games there, because, you know, you're just going to knock things off, aren't you? You're going to start pressing buttons. So if it all goes off, I do apologise. Needs inspectigating. We've got to inspectigate everything. Let me open that back up because I bet it's getting too hot in there. Oh, it's really hot in there. It's very warm in there, Eddie. He says I might lay there. He always finds where heat is. Now, this is a game that I again didn't experience until the last time I was collecting Saturn, and I thought it was a really good game. Really enjoyed it. I never played Doom much back in the day, and I would argue that this is an alien-skinned Doom clone. But yeah, it was. I really enjoyed playing it, and I thought I'm going to get that back because I enjoyed it, and it's not a fortune. It's Alien Trilogy. As I say, I like the feel of it, the way it handles and everything. I never played that far through it, to be honest. I gave it a bit of a chance, but I should have given it more of a chance. And that's the other thing with this stuff. As I say, I'm not buying that much because I intend to at least try and finish this stuff. And yes, of course, 100% Quidditch. You're going to get so pissed off with me saying that. If you're not already. So yeah. Everything with spine cards so far, which is a bit dangerous. I've got to check out that Darius guide. I'm sure I bought that without card. But what I was going to say was, if you get one, and especially if you get one from Japan, just check underneath the grey insert. That sort of it pulls apart and it lifts up. You might find one underneath there. I have it on very good authority, but that's what a lot of the Japanese collectors did back in the day. You'll not see it because the rear inlay's there. What's he doing there? He's trying to climb inside a bed. What are you doing? So you wouldn't see it, and a lot of them, people don't take that out. They wouldn't expect for it to be under there. But have a look. Go through your Japanese Saturn collection. You might find some underneath there hiding. Top tip. Top tip for the top here from Cajón Estelero. So that's the Saturn. What I've got to do now is drill some holes in here and get the cables through and get that working. So yeah, more fun. But today, I'm not going to do that today. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot another video this afternoon. Still a bit early now, so I didn't want to, maybe have a drink this afternoon. Should we have a drink just to finish the day off? Oh, what's he doing now? He goes into sort of hunt mode and then out of it again. So yeah, I've got another system here that I'm aching to get plonked in here because there are some games on it that I really, really want to play. There are still some in the post for that one as well. One has just arrived this morning. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to transfer you onto the PC so I can start editing you up, and we'll shoot another one this afternoon. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. It's coming in thick and fast. It's going to burn out. I just know it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.